In this presentation, we will explore whether implementing taxes can reduce obesity. Obesity is a pressing issue in the United States. According to a 2023 CDC study, in 23 states, over 1 in 3 adults are obese. Globally, obesity is on the rise, but it is especially severe in the United States. So, how do we tackle this? On a broader scale, we can ask, how can we use economics to address this issue? From an economic perspective, we can ask, can we use taxes to reduce obesity? To answer this, we need to understand the link between unhealthy food and obesity. A study in Frontiers found that college students who ate fast food over 4 times per week had an obesity rate of 35.4% compared to just 3.6% among those who ate it less frequently. Another study in the Obesity Journal found that a 10% increase in fast food prices led to a 5.7% drop in weekly consumption among children and adolescents. As we've seen, similar trends with cigarettes, with higher prices having led to reduced usage. This is the law of demand in action. As prices rise, consumption falls. That's because the opportunity cost increases. Consumers must give up more of their next best alternative due to this price increase. A higher price can also make a good unaffordable, especially for habitual consumers. The substitution effect kicks in as well, which we will get to on the next slide. The substitution effect occurs when a price increase makes a good relatively more expensive compared to alternatives, leading customers to switch to cheaper substitutes. In this case, people switch from unhealthy fast food items to healthy alternatives. But how do we raise these prices? We do this through a per unit excise tax, which charges a fixed amount per item sold. For example, a 10% tax would raise the price of a Big Mac from just $5.99 to $6.59, while someone eating a Big Mac daily would go from paying $2,196 a year to $2,405 a year. While 60 cents may not deter an occasional buyer, it may be enough to deter consistent buyers, as the additional $219 spent a year is enough to buy a pair of AirPods and still have money left over. Since fast food consumption is linked to obesity and higher prices are linked to lower consumption, this tax can in fact lower obesity rates. Now let's consider elasticity. If demand is elastic, a price increase leads to a significant drop in quantity demanded, like with movie tickets. If demand is inelastic, consumption stays relatively constant, like with insulin. Fast food tends to have somewhat inelastic demand in the short term, but it still responds to price changes over time. Who gains and who loses from these taxes? Firms producing healthy substitutes benefit as consumers shift towards their products. So brands like Sweetgreen or Kava may even become cheaper than taxed fast food, gaining market share. Whereas companies that produce unhealthy items incur losses, as they are subject to a tax and have to cover that tax in order to not reduce consumption. So fast food chains like Burger King or Subway face higher marginal costs and lower revenues, shrinking profits as quantity demanded drops. But who bears this tax? This is explained by tax incidence. The burden depends on elasticity. However, the burden is also shared. When demand is more inelastic than supply, as it often is for fast food, consumers bear more of the tax, paying higher prices. However, producers may still be affected through lower sales and lower profit margins. But where does this tax money go? With a per unit excise tax, the extra money collected, like the 50 cents on a Big Mac, goes to the government. These funds can help internalize the negative externality of unhealthy eating by supporting healthcare, easing costs for those not responsible for the issue. The government can also subsidize positive externalities, like funding public gyms, healthy food programs, and nutrition education. In conclusion, economics offers tools to address the obesity epidemic. By understanding demand, elasticity, tax incidence, and externalities, we can design smart policies. Excise taxes on unhealthy foods are a logical and evidence-based step towards reducing obesity, just like how we saw with cigarettes. Thank you.